All right, guys. So it's the next day, and I promised you guys a how-to. We're gonna be doing the oil filter housing gaskets on this IS. This IS is running the Pure Stage. The Pure 600s with the relocated inlets, down pipes, forged diverter valve, with a charge pipe, port injection. This car has everything, you know. So we're gonna do these two gaskets, and we're gonna replace the top radiator hose. Top radiator hose, guess it has to be replaced because it's starting to get a heat rot. That brown, when these plastics turn like this color brown, it's a sign that it's a wear and tear item. So it's designed, it's gonna wear with all the heat that this motor emits. Plastics start turning brown. They start turning really brittle. And sooner or later, it's just gonna bust on you in the middle of, probably you'll be in the middle of nowhere. So it's best that, you know, if you start seeing this kind of color on any of the connectors, any of them, replace them. You do not want to get stuck somewhere and one of these failing, because this part, any of these hoses, you really can't get anywhere like in stock. You can order them, but it'll take like a day for them to come in. But you cannot get these on hand. So please, I'm very adamant on that. Like, if you see any of that rot, replace it. But yeah, let's get started. All right, so first things first. So I took out the fan shroud. Fan shroud's held by either a T25 or torque screw up here, and one on the bottom that's holding the heat exchanger for the automatic transmission. Now, some people don't run their cars with that screw, and that's fine. Others have their belly pan on the bottom, which is held by 8mm screws, which is also fine. You can run it, or you can run it without it. I mean, this car doesn't have any of those two screws. Just it makes it easier to pull the fan shroud out. Now next, we're gonna start pulling all these hosings off. Some coolant is gonna spill, so make sure you got something to catch the coolant, so your work area isn't dirty. And then we'll get to the oil feed lines, which is held by 11. You can get an 11 nut. Bolt that off, and then you'll have access to this. Now, it's personal preference on how you want to take onto this, but I'll show you how I do it, because it's a little bit tricky to get to the back. Now, I do unplug this so I can get easier access to that rear bolt back there. That one's a little bit pain on the butt, but I got a couple ways I can do it, and I'll show y'all how to do it. So yeah. And I do apologize, it's not an 11. I got mixed up with these over here. These are 11s. I apologize. The size of this nut is a 13. So once that comes off, you can bring down the lines, and it will spill a little bit of oil, but nothing like too major where you need to refill it back up. So just keep note of that, and yeah, we'll move on from. Now the next step, we're gonna take the front plate off where the thermostat is, and it's got three bolts holding it to the housing. This one, here's the second one, and the third one is down here. These are E12 Torx. E12, and you slip it on, turn to the off position, and just wrench them off. That's all on this. All right, so we got it removed. Now, when you remove this, oil and coolant's gonna fall. It's gonna leak. It's just how it is. There's no way really of stopping it. But so yeah, so this is how it looks like with it off. Next step we're gonna do is take off the top radiator hose. You're just gonna clamp right here. You got a C clip right here. You got a C clip right here. And then you got another one down here that you just pop up like this. Sorry, this is like that. And you got another one over here like that. I'll get the other one down there in a second. I just gotta remove this hose, set it to the side, start taking it off, and then I'll get back with you. All right, so hose is off, ready to rock. All 3 couplers are off. Now it's time to get to these. Now it's 3 of these. These are, now I have this swivel one, which, I mean, I'm a technician, so I can get my hands on these kind of stuff, but you can't really get this type of socket anywhere. But it is a, see if we could turn it. Where the frick is it? Here it goes. The oil filter housing bolts are E10s. There's 3 of them. One right here, one back here, and one right here. I usually get an 8mm ratcheting wrench and get this, since I don't want to pop this off, because usually if it's the original one, like this one looks like it is, you pop these 2 off and you pop it, the area that the O-ring sits on, it breaks all the time. So I try to avoid that. So I just use a little ratcheting wrench like this, the 8mm. Where is it? Sorry, my workbench is a mess, man. I haven't been able to clean it since I use this most of the time to do my jobs. Now, where is it? There it is. One like this. And yeah, so I'm gonna get the housing off, and I'll show you how everything looks without it and how to clean it. I have a die grinder with a bit that's made to get, you know, gasket residue off on both the thermostat and the head. Sorry. All right, so here's with everything off that I told you guys about. This is what a dirty head looks like, you know. This is just, it happens over time. Bad gaskets wear and they leave residue, and we're gonna clean that up with my die grinder. I got a die grinder with a bit that's made to take all that off without grinding the head, because you don't want to have an uneven surface with these, because they'll just start pouring out. So we're gonna clean it up with this, and I'll show y'all what it looks like in a moment. All right, so that's what a clean surface looks like. So now we're ready to put the housing back on and the gaskets and everything back on, so we can finish up and wrap up this job. So yeah, so this is my first how-to. So I mean, it kind of sucks, but I'll get better at it. I'm not really used to taking my time and, you know, showing people how to do this, so it's kind of was definitely a first thing for me. But yeah, so hit a like, subscribe to see more of these, because I will be coming out with more of these how-tos. So just stay tuned, and thank you for your support.